This episode of The Talking Dads is brought to you by Little Scholars Early Learning Center. Whether your family needs infant care, a preschool program, or before and after school care, Little Scholars' highly rated Step Up to Quality programs provide quality early childhood education at an affordable price. Visit www.littlescholars.net to get in contact with an enrollment specialist and schedule a tour of any of their 5 Lake County campuses. Here's the deal. Talking Dads fans are getting a little bonus right now. Mention that you heard about Little Scholars through our podcast when you tour and receive $25 off your registration fee.
All right. And I could definitely vouch for Little Scholars. I have a son that goes there. He loves it. He's happy every day to go to school. I got to say, it's a great place. Check it out. At least come take a tour.
Again, that's Little Scholars Early Learning Center, where children learn, play, and grow together.
In a world where moms continue to dominate parenting authority and a father's role is minimized in society, 2 dads take on the toughest parenting topics on a weekly basis, all while drinking bourbon. They are the Talking Dads.
All right. Welcome to another episode of The Talking Dads. I'm Steve. This is Ian. And This is Rick Russo.
What's up?
Welcome, Rick. It's good to have you. We are on episode number 9 of the Talking Dads, and tonight we are at the TLP Studios, checking it out here. Very nice place. Rick, thanks for having us here. Kind of feel like it's weird. You're our guest, but we're in your place.
We're a guest at your place, so this is awesome, man.
That's fine. I'm just a tenant right now.
That's good.
It's a great setup in here. I love it.
So give us what we usually do is we start out with a little dad profile. So tell us, who you are, what you do, about your kids, shit like that.
Yeah, no, I'm Rick Russo. Yeah. I have 3 kids. Work at Lubrizol. Got an 11-year-old son, a 7-year-old daughter, and a 4-year-old daughter. I don't know what else.
Cool. No, that's cool. No, we'll get into all of it.
I'm not good with the bios.
11-year-old son. So that would he be the oldest child? No.
What?
We're trying to think of,
yeah.
All the people we've interviewed have had really young children. So
really?
Yeah, so we're on episode 9 now, like I said.
Yeah.
And what we've been realizing now is each episode we're still getting like firsts. So
really?
Last week we had DJ Yakubuchi on.
Yeah.
And so he was like our first divorced dad. And so it was kind of cool getting into that kind of stuff and that aspect of being a dad and how that affects, your day-to-day life and everything. So yeah, I think your kids are the oldest.
Yeah, the 11-year-old.
We had the 11-year-old.
Yeah, because DJ's was 7.
7.
7-year-old twins. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
My 11-year-old, he's from a past relationship with my wife, with her ex, and I've raised him since he was just around 2.
Okay.
So.
Very cool.
He's mine.
Yeah. No, that's cool. Yeah. Well, look, I mean, you can probably speak more of this even than we could, but I know with my kids, I can't imagine, not having them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even after
that relationship with them.
after a couple weeks, let alone years, I don't know how long it's been since you and your ex weren't together or whatever, but
Well, it's my.
no. So it's your wife's.
Her
Okay,
wife,
gotcha.
My wife and her ex.
So,
and he's actually, not to bore you with like background stories.
No, I love
It's fine, man. This is.
She actually, with her ex, moved to Arizona.
Okay.
I guess, they moved out there, and then, she was pregnant, and then they split up, I think, when she was, like, 9 months pregnant. Oh. And then she moved back home and had the baby, and then, we met, like, a long time before that, but then we just kind of met again after that. And
so she did, like, the single mom thing for a little while.
Yeah.
And then you guys met, and so you are legitimately the only father he's ever known.
Yeah.
I mean, in an everyday sense.
Yeah. His father's, I will give him, some credit. I mean, for living across the country, he does try to stay in his life as much as he could.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Probably not as much as people would think or I would want, but you're across the country. It's kind of hard to do whatever.
Tough.
So
absolutely.
He comes here a couple times a year. He tries to at least makes calls, talks to him.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's got to be more tough on on him.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
But
hey, well, God bless you too, man, for
there's another
being
first
too,
too. Then is
Yeah.
you know, non-biological son, you know, and that's cool. I think that's cool that, I mean, the first thing you said was like, he's mine, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's clear that, you know.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, you know, it's like, other than you being blood, you know, it's like your father's the person that raises you, teaches you things and shows you right from wrong. And,
right.
you know, that's what I've done with him since, you know, since he's known.
And that's the cool thing. And
yeah, pretty much.
Right. And well, that goes for moms. It goes for dads too.
I actually had a plus because he was out of diapers right when I met her. So it was like, I didn't have to potty train. I was like a new dad.
That's awesome.
I was like, hey, man, these aren't too bad. Everyone talks about how bad kids are.
Yeah, but then you found that out later, though.
Yeah, later on.
But girls are easier, I think.
Oh, dude, no.
You think so?
That's what I hear.
I don't know.
That's what I hear. I'm waiting for my daughter to.
You guys don't have daughters yet?
My daughter's 20 months old, so.
I have 2 boys.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah, I know.
Dude. It's you see the world from a different perspective.
I could only imagine.
I remember when she was born, and I was like, "Oh, this is different," and like there was nothing different, but everything was different.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm talking about. I don't know how
different.
to explain that.
It's more like in I guess like with Nick, you know, it's like he grows up and you want to be hard on him,
sure,
and teach him right from wrong, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, he's gonna grow up and get all the girls.
Yeah.
Then that girl comes out, and you're like, shit. Like some dad right now is telling his son the same thing I was thinking.
Yeah,
myself.
exactly.
And as they get older and they start, you know, growing up, you know, it's just you start to see things. And it's like,
yeah,
she's got like the sign on her door now, like girls only and no boys allowed, which is like awesome.
9?
She's 7.
7.
Yeah, she's born on the 4th of July, so
that's cool.
She'll be 8 this year.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm not looking forward.
I just can't even imagine what you guys are
like with my son.
Teenage
I
years.
can't wait for him to grow up. Like,
oh really?
Like tonight we were at a birthday party, and like he's gonna be 4 this summer, but he's just now getting into, hey, I want to play, and I like video games, so he's playing his video games on his phone and whatever and everything like that. Or my phone, not his phone.
Yeah, phone already. Kid's 3. Wow.
But he always, you know, begs to play his game. So I'll be like, all right, you get 10 minutes before bed as long as you do this, this, and this, and he does it, and so I let him play. But so tonight we had this birthday party at round 1. And there's this Ninja Turtles arcade game, and it's almost
like the old school one?
It's almost identical to the old one, like
Man, that game
like
was the
surfing
best.
in the sewer and stuff like that. It was amazing.
Except you have to pay $20 to play it.
Yeah, right.
Right, exactly.
Dude, crazy.
On a card that you just keep swiping.
Oh,
every
yeah.
Yeah,
time.
oh yeah. You're like, the swipe. I have 100 swipes left, and then everyone's 8. And
But like he was so into it, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, this is gonna be great. Like a couple years, like for the next couple years, I can bust him out of school a little bit early. We can go hit the arcade for a little bit. Like
Hit
it's
the
like
arcade.
my dream. I know.
I
I'm so
haven't heard
fucking
hit
old.
the arcade.
Hit the
Like, does that
arcade.
even happen? Because we have round 1 now.
Yeah, you're right. He's not gonna want to
there
hang
are
out
no
with me.
arcades. Except the one creepy one that pops up at the mall every once in a
I
while.
know, right?
Dude.
In that corner.
Oh yeah, that one spot.
Yeah.
I think that one's still over there. Oh my
No,
God.
they were last time I was at the mall. They were clearing that place out.
It's always something different over there. Who knows? I mean, the mall.
Yeah. Oh God.
Have you been to that round 1 though?
I have.
But yeah, the round 1 was pretty sweet, and so I was excited to play. Like sit down, we're on these little stools playing arcade Ninja Turtles game, and he was so into it. So I'm like really excited for that. Like I want him to be at that age where we can do stuff. We can go hang out and go catch a movie or go to the ball game. I mean, I take him to a lot of games now, but
You're already doing that. You really want him to grow up that fast?
it's not that I want him to grow up that fast, but I'm looking forward to
The future.
being able to do even more stuff with him.
Yeah, for sure.
To whereas my daughter, I very much want her to stay like where she's at.
Yeah.
And that, like I feel bad about that. Because I shouldn't treat them differently, but they're different people. They're different, you know.
That's how everybody is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same thing, exact same story, like with me and
Really?
like Nick. I couldn't wait for him to get older and be able to like hang out in the garage and just talk to him and have him help me with stuff.
Yeah.
And then Peyton and Kendall, it's like, I just want you to just like freeze in time and just always like
Just be these little
need me
girls.
for everything. And you know, Nick, it's like, hey, why don't you just grow up and you know,
Mow the lawn.
it's just guys. This is
Yeah,
how we've
yeah. I
always
think
been.
that's
You're
just
right,
that's
guys.
just the dynamic between father son and father daughter.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's for sure,
But
man.
yeah.
Yeah, but I always think about daughters. So I have 2 boys.
Okay.
So they're only 3 and 1. So but I always think about you guys with your girls. Like, I can imagine teenagers. I listened to my mother-in-law when she said, like, when my wife was a teenager, she goes, "Man, I really loved you, but I did not like you." She's like, "You were mean." Like she's like, "Oh, I hear stories about girls all the time in teenage years. It just sounds terrifying. Not to mention, as men, when we were boys,
Oh yeah,
junior high school,
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I know.
terrifying.
I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
right.
Just raise them the right way.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean
That's
that's
what it's
really
all
all you
about.
can do is do your best to raise them the right way.
Yeah,
make them.
Yeah, and they go in phases. Like my middle daughter now, she'll go through the phase. She'll get mad now. Now she's in the phase. I'm the worst dad in the world.
Oh,
She's in that phase. Where I want to move. I want to leave. And, you're just like, all right. Finally, it's just like, all right, go ahead. And then like she'll look at you all funny, like, well, I'm not really gonna leave. It's like,
Okay, well,
you said you were.
yeah, you said it.
see if you can make it.
Yeah, a little reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's intense.
Works.
Kendall, on the other hand, she's like the sweetest girl. Like she's doesn't have like a mean bone in her body.
Which one is that?
That's
Not my youngest.
youngest one? Okay.
Yeah. She's been a trip since she was born. She was diagnosed with apraxia like what the hell old was she? She was like a year or a year and a half. I don't know. Most people don't even know what apraxia is.
I don't.
It's a neurological disorder, like a brain disorder at first, where it's curable over time, which is great. I know a lot of people have kids that have disorders that are
sure.
like lifetime, but it just affects their speech. She had low muscle tone from it and everything. So she, you look at her now, she's 4. Like most kids are talking, and she's like kind of mumbles through her words. A little slower, like picking up on things, but. Dude, she's a trip. She is awesome. Yeah, but physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy.
I was gonna say you do all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a hassle, man. But
what's funny about that, or not funny, but there's nothing funny about that. What my question, I guess, would be: so, what I notice. So I'm in childcare for a living, and I see kids that maybe not that exact same thing, but kids that are nonverbal for a little while longer and stuff like that. But the communication that comes out that's nonverbal seems to be more intense.
Right.
Like, was that the case
Yeah,
with her?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
she's much more animated or...
there's different types of apraxia. Apraxia is not just, you can't understand somebody. I mean, you probably can if those kids try to talk, but some kids just won't talk.
Right.
Yeah.
The thing that's tough with people to try and understand, you see people and they're like, they try to talk to her like, now this. And it's like, she understands
she's got the
everything.
She understands, but she can't.
She understands everything, and she knows what she wants to say. And when she's saying it, she knows she can't say it. So it's like,
God, that's got to be so tough for a kid.
Frustrating for.
That's got to be frustrating.
It was really hard. I mean, even on Lauren and I, when we had her, because it gets frustrating. You go to birthday parties and stuff, and you see people with their kids, and then you look at yours, and you're like, you start to feel bad for them.
Right.
Yeah.
But then, like, we found out after that, it was actually one of the first stories I heard that kind of perked you up a little bit. You start to get down about things. Was that Ronda Rousey actually had apraxia?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she didn't. She didn't speak. She didn't speak any good English until I think she was like 8. And that's about.
But
that's so interesting. I was literally, when you were talking about this, I was like, she's going to be tough as shit when she grows up because. Yeah. She's dealt with controversy or struggle, I guess, because I'm sure in her head she knows exactly what she's trying to do.
But her body and her thought process is not working.
So it's funny. I was like she's going to be tough as shit when she grows up, and then you say like, oh, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think about it, but they say like anywhere from like 6 to 10, depending on how much therapy the kid gets and stuff.
Huh.
So and you guys are all
that's why we pump her through therapy, and my wife, I joke with her a lot, about things, but she's worked with her like crazy, all these flashcards every day, like just making sounds and stuff. I always joke with her with therapy that's like the English alphabet cost me like $200 a letter. She'd go to therapy and she would come back and be like, "Tell Daddy B," and she'd be like, "B," and it's like.
That's awesome, though. I mean,
there went, $75 for
What's
a B.
What's the alternative?
Nice,
you know what I mean? Like,
no. So, I mean,
awesome.
but it's cool. But she's a trip.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. And like you said, it was really tough on you guys. So a lot of people don't realize is like things don't always go perfectly when you have kids.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's very rare for everything to go perfectly. Like, so for me, I had a son with a heart condition when he was born. He had to get open heart surgery. We almost lost him a few times. But like you take it for granted. Like my first son was born. We took him home in 2 days,
Right.
And everything went perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like you never know what kind of stuff could go wrong. And it's not always perfect, no matter what your situation is. Which mic is mine?
You trying to choke him with that thing?
No, I felt like he was like leaning in, leaning in, and he was uncomfortable.
Did I look uncomfortable? Maybe because my chair's back a little bit. But anyway, it's crazy. It's so hard as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like you somehow, as a couple, find a way to get through those kind of things and you make it work. Like the same thing. My son's still going through. He can't swallow properly, so he chokes on water and like his beverages. Like we have to thicken his drinks. He has to go through speech therapy, same type of stuff. But eventually he'll be fine. Right. But right now it's very tough. And
yeah, because for years, like that's all the after effects of
this is after effects
being in the hospital for 2 months, right?
Yeah, because
like,
he didn't breastfeed.
Developing.
Like we had to. My wife had a pump the whole time he was in the hospital. He was in the hospital for 2 months, you know, so he didn't have his norm. Like every day is crucial when they're born. You know, they have to learn how to swallow, how to everything. They have to. Their brain's already starting to develop. So missing that 2 months, like he was kind of behind already, but he's thriving. The kid's a beast. So he goes to his daycare. He's a wild man. He's gonna be trouble. So.
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah.
But that being said, like I was feeding off what you said about how like that was really tough on you guys, but you guys find a way to make it work as a parent, and you just fight through it, and you know you make everything work, and just you do it. And like you said, she'll be fine. You know,
there are benefits to it though too. I mean, you probably know, like when you go through that, even as like a couple or a family, like when you see one of your kids struggle, I think it brings you guys closer. But then there's a level of like parenthood too that like, you know, your sons, you know, you have that like tough attitude with your kid, your boy, you know, even though you love him to death, it's like you have that more like tough guy approach to him to try and toughen them up and try and get them ready for the world. And your daughters, you're trying to like shelter them from the world. When you have like a special needs kid that you know is like growing up in this world of like bullies and stuff like that, you have just like this rage that develops where it's like, I see how people go crazy. Like I literally, I watch it with other kids and I'm just like waiting for like the first person to make her come home upset. Oh God. You know, and it's just like the level, like it's And that, but I mean, I know I speak for everybody too. That's like absolutely. That. You look after them. It's almost like, you know, like they can't defend themselves at all. And it's like now your job, like not only is to like raise them and, you know, protect them. And it's like times 10.
Yeah. You have an extra responsibility now because you got to over prepare almost, you know what I mean? Like it's that much more important, because you always want the best for your kids no matter what. And if you feel like that you have to go extra, you're going to do anything that you have to do. Mm-hmm. I could totally see that. I mean, I'm very blessed. Like both of my kids are, you know, came out fine and have been developmentally fine and all that kind of stuff. I mean, besides being like little assholes, but I think most kids are like that.
They all are.
They're both just very like
you
strong.
You don't realize it.
Yeah.
I mean,
but I do feel fortunate for me that I've had a friend like, you know, Steve and I have known each other since we were 4, and like to be able to like go through that with him. I'm like, his kids are like my kids, you know, my kids are like his kids. Right. And we work together all the time. And you know, it was crazy even for us to go through that. I mean, not on the same level by any means, but
no, but I feel like everybody that was around us, our friends, family, it was insane. Like his whole situation was just the craziest thing ever. But we had a lot of support, you know, so that was amazing. And like I mean, like you said, as a parent too, because you could always feel for someone. Like you see things going on. Like I know, you know, like it just kind of kills you to see a parent go through that.
Yeah, I mean, I got kids running through my centers all the time that, you know, with different conditions and you know. Some we have to do breathing treatments for, which is a very simple, easy thing to do. But for the parents, like that's a thing that not everyone has to do. And so we try and help them as much as we can go through that kind of stuff. And we make sure that we're all trained to help support them and do that kind of stuff. And, you know, I don't know. It's just, it's interesting to see other parents, what they have to go through, and then like you become a part of that somehow and help as much as you can, because it takes, you know, I'm a firm believer in like takes a village, you know, whether that's your family or your close friends or whatever your village is, like you're kind of all in it together. And even if it's just you and your wife or you and your partner, whatever it is, like you do probably build like a stronger bond when you're going through something like that. Definitely.
And like as a caregiver too, like you said, you know, you daycare. Even with parents that have kids like that with special needs, like you sometimes feel like you're in a bubble. And, you know, like with Kendall, it seemed, you know, I get very hard on myself. Like I look at it, it's always like, what did I do something wrong?
Right. Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of just like everything else. Like you never really see progress when they're yours,
When it's every day.
and it's every day.
Yeah.
But like her therapist, some of the best things we've ever gotten was positive feedback from them of like, hey, I really noticed this. And it's like, it seems something so small, but like as a caregiver, if you're even like, hey, like,
Yeah.
I'm seeing him make big strides, like that as a parent, it's like,
Because you see
oh
every
God,
single
like,
second of them.
that's
Dude,
awesome that people are
we have this
noticing.
little girl that we've had since she was she's probably like 6 months old when she came to us, and it was one of those situations. She had cerebral palsy, and it's one of those things where we are definitely not a special needs center by any means, but if we feel like we can work with the parents and be an asset, then we'll absolutely do it. It's not always the case. Sometimes we'll flat out say, look, I can't take your money because we're not the best place for your child.
Right.
And that's kind of a tough pill to swallow sometimes, but you know, whatever. But this little girl, man, like for all this time before, and like they actually left for a while because they went to like a specialized place, and I thought it was great. And then they came back to us because they're like, you guys do more for my daughter than, you know, any other place did. And like she was walking, you know, we got her like all this kind of stuff. It was amazing. Like I don't know. Like I have a lot of pride in like stuff like that we do.
Yeah, like,
because you know, you feel for those kids. Those kids don't know any different.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's just the cards they were dealt,
Yeah,
and like
that's
they try
probably
so
the toughest
hard.
part. That's probably the toughest part. It's like with Kendall, she's 4, she'll be 5 in November. She's starting to get to that age where she's gonna notice, like,
Sure.
hey, why are these kids talking and I'm not? Like,
Right.
why are they looking at me like I'm, like something's wrong?
Right.
yeah.
So that's probably the hardest part. Is
Yeah.
probably the next like year or two. She's gotten very, very good from where she was. It's still sometimes struggles to watch like people try to talk to her, and like she'll say something to them, and I always joke with everybody because it's like in this house, like we almost know a different language because
Yeah.
we know exactly what she's saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I mean, she'll
You know how to
literally she'll
communicate
mumble
with her.
something,
Yeah.
and I know like, oh, you want more apple juice? All right, and I'll get it for her. She's like,
Right.
thanks, Daddy. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just normal. But then you'll see her say something to somebody else, and they're like, "What'd you just say?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just you look, I'm like, "Hey, dumbass!" Like,
Hey.
she told you to turn on Mickey Mouse. Like, what the hell's
Hey,
wrong
listen
with
to
you?
her. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably going to be the hardest thing.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, for sure.
once she starts to realize that.
Yeah, I mean, I think from my experience with it in the centers is like, I guess all I would say is like try and maintain positive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you guys know this by now, going through what you've gone through over the last 4 years. But
Yeah.
I think just keeping kids positive because they're not going to give up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's other people that give up on kids. It's not kids that give up on themselves.
And I
'Cause
think
they
that,
don't
like-
have a choice. It's not even like a thought process.
Yeah, and I think in a parent's situation or position, they see that it actually hurts you more than it hurts the kids. Probably.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
By far.
because it kills you. You see
Yeah.
them just
Oh
anytime.
yeah, by
Yeah,
far. I mean, everyone
absolutely.
wants their kids to, like I said, when Lauren and I got together, Nick was, I think he was 2 or 3. I think he was turning 3 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I should know this. It was
Dude,
either
don't worry about it, man. There's a lot to keep track
it was
of.
2 or 3, but he's like, and you can ask anybody. Like Nick is like the best kid in the world. Like this kid is like extremely smart. He picks up on everything. The kid's like, he's 11, but the kid's like 25.
Yeah.
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 He literally makes himself his food. He gets himself up
That's
for school.
awesome.
He does everything on his own. Smart as hell. Like great. Then you got like Peyton came along, and everything went perfectly smooth with her. She was walking, talking at like a year old. She
Yeah.
grew up. Now she's like my little firecracker that just drives me insane
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. And then it's like you start thinking, oh yeah, this isn't too bad. Like kids aren't bad. And then it's like, and then Kendall comes along, and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this just it gets real. And I mean,
Yeah.
literally, the other kids, they take a couple years of your life, just kind of keeping an eye on them and stuff, but then they start to become self-sufficient. But,
Right.
like Kendall's been 4 years of every single day, like
It's a
working
lot.
with every single day, just like you would with, any other child. And it's just, it gets on you. Cause you can't just leave, you can't just
Right,
say,
well,
hey, like we're
yeah.
going to run to the store, Nick, watch her.
Right.
We try to now a little bit, but it's still like, you
Yeah.
really can't do stuff. And then try to get people to watch the kids. That's probably the hardest part,
Oh, yeah.
as a parent,
Didn't
is
think
trying to
about that.
make time to get away from it.
Yeah.
Not that you want to get away from your kids.
No,
but, I
no,
mean, you
no.
know how it
I
is, like,
think
you need
I think
that
it's
time.
super important to
Yeah.
have time, adult time. Where you can just talk with your wife and have a meal without tending to 3 little ones that
Right.
Yeah.
demand every ounce of your attention. You know what I mean? And that's the thing is like I think good parents or at least decent parents give their kids the attention that they need when they're in their presence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's certainly families out there that don't, and there's whatever.
Oh yeah.
But I think when you do that, it's super important to figure out some time. And everyone's different. Some people might need to go once a month. Some people might need to go once a week, or every 4 months, whatever it is, whatever works for you guys. I mean, that's kind of our thing that we say is whatever works.
for
Like,
you as a
like there's
parent.
no book that says
No, there's not.
this is what you should do to be happy. You know what I mean? Whatever is making you guys happy and making you guys function as a family, like that makes sense. So
Yeah, ours I kind of gauge it by like how her and I are with each other, when we start to clash a little bit and you see it getting worse and worse, and it's like we've been fighting a lot, and it's like, okay, we need
We should probably go get some.
book a
have
comedy
a night
show
out
or
or
something
something.
like that we can
Yeah.
go and
I
get
hate
away from
comedy
it.
shows.
Really?
I hate comedy shows.
Do you? I've only been to a couple.
It takes a lot to get me to like laugh,
Yeah.
and then I'm always afraid that like I'm going to be the guy that they pick on.
Oh, yeah.
Like I do something stupid, and then I'm going to get picked on.
Do you
the
feel
whole
like
thing.
you're forced to laugh?
Yeah,
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
There's I went to see that Chris D'Elia,
Oh, yeah.
and there was a few things that weren't even that funny, but I was like
and
found
the whole-
myself
everyone
laughing,
laughs.
and I'm like,
because everyone else did.
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's you feel
So
a
I've
little
never
bit
been to,
pressure,
like, a
especially the bigger the
Yeah,
act is. Like
yeah.
we saw Jerry Seinfeld, he was hilarious. That was the first comedy show I've ever been to. But there were times where you feel like you have to laugh.
It's a hell of a good comedy show to go to for your first one.
Oh, it was phenomenal. He was
I bet it
amazing.
was.
Dude, he was amazing. Hilarious.
There's very few comics that I've actually watched that have made me really laugh.
Yeah.
It's like Chris Rock,
Yeah.
Cat Williams, like
Oh,
guys
yeah.
like that.
Those
Like
guys are hilarious.
I'm afraid I go to like the Improv or whatever the hell that place is, Hilarities or something.
Yeah.
And you just go there and it's like you just get a dud and you're just.
I used to go to these. I used to live in Vegas. When I got out of the Marine Corps, I moved to Vegas by myself with like nothing and no one
Really?
and everything. Yeah. It was fun, but it only lasted like 10 months.
Yeah, but how awesome was it?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
But for one of my like regular spots was this little comedy club that was just off the strip and everything. And it was all these like aspiring comics. And it was like $4 to get in, and you can get $2 beers. You know what I mean? So I didn't have any money. So I was just like hanging out there all the time with some people that I knew and everything. And I loved going to these shows.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Were they all like hilarious, or were there some duds?
no, there was definitely some duds, but maybe in a smaller place like that, like I didn't feel pressure to laugh. Like,
I'd probably laugh more at the duds. Like if,
Yeah,
if
probably.
somebody's a dud and they're like openly admitting that
Yeah.
they suck, that'd
Yeah.
probably be more
Yeah, that-
funny to me.
I mean, maybe that was, I don't know. Like I had a
possibility.
blast. Like,
Yeah, I
but
mean-
I was mostly just getting fucked up and
So it was even funnier then.
yeah,
Hats off to those guys anyways, stand up
yeah,
in front
Dude,
dude,
of
that'd
can you
be a
imagine? That's
nuts
just
job.
balls. I mean,
Like
I
I,
mean,
like
think
to
about
talk,
Like-
and I can even talk in front of people.
the moment
but-
I just crashed, like I just threw a dud joke out there,
Oh, yeah.
I'd go in panic
Yeah.
mode. I'd be like, oh, this is.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
it's
picture
supposed
that.
to
Can
be.
you
Stand in
imagine?
front of a big
You say
group of
something and you
people.
hear.
good use.
How did you
Good
remember
use.
that?
That was nice.
So I'll be honest with you guys. I was watching the Trend the other day, and you told Dave, you're like, all right.
Yeah, he did say the
crickets with
purple
a
button. Purple button.
Sorry.
Yeah, I do remember
Dave
that.
struggles
Actually.
with that thing.
So I remember that.
You would think like he would know, considering it's been all this time, and he sits there and he'd play with them before each show. But we'll literally do something, and all of a sudden I'll hear some random noise, and I'm like, look over, and it's like,
He's like,
asshole.
makes
What's the other
sense.
one? Like that's why every single episode it's me reaching over here or like telling him which one to hit.
oh, it's too
It's
good.
almost
that's
just become
sweet.
comical. Like if he hit a note like that on that perfectly timed,
It'd be weird.
it would be weird.
I nailed
That's
it.
awesome. Well,
Yeah,
speaking
you're
of that, like I know one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is your podcast,
Yeah.
The Trend. Really entertaining stuff, and obviously
We're big sports fans.
sports fans. Talk a little bit about that, like how you guys got started. 'cause-
First of all, you guys
'cause-
gotta come on sometime too.
Yeah,
I'd love to,
absolutely.
man.
Yeah, it
saw
gets,
Larry
it
was
gets
on
carried
one
away
day.
sometimes.
Dude,
No,
I
I
love
love
getting
it,
carried
though.
away.
I love
You
it.
gotta. Well, we've gotten real close to that line sometimes. My wife
There's no
didn't talk
line.
to me one time for like a day or two.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was a little upset.
Oh, so your wife watches it?
She says she doesn't,
Yeah,
but
yeah, mine doesn't.
no, you should.
Liz will
She
watch
might,
it
she
from
might
time
watch
to
like the
time.
minute clips that we put out, but
She'll usually
she's
just-
not listening to the whole thing.
Liz will listen to it sometimes, and then she'll be like, you guys all right.
Yeah. So our podcast started, back when the guys were wanting to build their podcast room over at Marky Fresh, and it was kind of funny, a little whirlwind. Larry over here would probably completely agree. Like, I made fun of him when he talked about wanting to do a podcast. I was like, that's kind of stupid. Like, what are you guys going to do? You're just going to sit in a room and just talk to each other about what? And I went there the one night when we were sitting in that big room, weren't we? The big white room. And they were just like, hey, you want to sit down and do a podcast with us? I was like, yeah, sure. So I sat down and literally went like 2.5 hours or something that first time. And we were just sitting there. It felt like 10 minutes. Yeah. And we even talked about it afterwards. I'm like, it's been so long since I actually just sat down. Didn't worry about my phone. Right. Didn't worry about kids running around. Didn't worry about what I had to go do. And just had a normal conversation.
Yeah. Dude, you hit it on the head. Like, that's what I love about this is, like, I don't look at my phone. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, unless
he
it's
looks
like...
at his phone a lot.
I do.
So do I. Like everyone always
business, like whatever, like...
People tell me all the time.
All the time.
People tell me all the time. My phone goes crazy. It does all sorts of stuff. Yeah. I'm always on it. It's like, you're impossible. Why are you texting so many people?
Right.
I work. It's a problem. I work my job and I work my side job, so I'm always trying to work. I'm always trying to stir up work, and I'm trying to keep a bunch of needy friends happy by communicating with each person. But it became really cool. And then when they ended up having me help them build the podcast room, even though Marco would tell you he built it all.
He has said that, I think.
Yeah, I know he has.
I've seen you do a lot of work up there, man.
Yeah, no, but it was actually fun. That was a fun week we all had. There was a lot of stress building that room.
Yeah, but it went up quick.
Yeah, well, that was a lot of long days, late nights, a lot of Larry yelling at everybody.
Shocker.
It was a lot of fun, but then after that, they had started off the room and they wanted to rent the room out and stuff, and it was like, well, you know what, like, never really thought about it, but let me just see what a couple of my friends think. And it was honestly more along the lines of support my friends. It was like, hey, you guys are doing a podcast room, you need some people to get in. We'll start 1, 2, and we'll do it. And then it just became so much damn fun. Like,
it's like addicting.
It was fun, but then it was just like schedules still get in the way. You have like the schedule thing. It was constantly like, oh, well, we can't do it this time. We got to do it this time. And then we got to try and do it this time. We can't. Oh, we got to cancel because this and do that. And finally, it was like, that's not fair to keep dragging everybody along. And then it was like, well, we still want to do it. So I was like, well, we got the workout room in the house. And it's like, clearly I don't use it. And it's like, the wife, she claims she's going to use it, but I mean, this was filled with like workout equipment, but
still got the treadmill. I feel like the treadmill, when you get one, it becomes it holds laundry.
It's got a cup up there. It's a coffee cup holder.
There you go. Lubrizol cup, I see.
Yes, but we did that. Honestly, it's been the best thing I think I've done in a long time. And I got to thank Larry, even though he's a dick.
I think it's like
he is such a dick.
No, but honestly,
it's like therapeutic.
It's therapeutic. It
really is.
To sit down and talk to people face to face and actually have conversation. I mean,
it's what lacks in this world.
It really does.
Well, Steve tells this story. You went to Cedar Point last year, right?
Cedar Point, we went to. It's a new ride. I should know this. Steel Vengeance.
Yeah.
So it was a 3.5 hour wait. We're like, screw it, let's do it. So you have to take your phone and put it into a locker when you get there. So
because they don't want the liability of you dropping your phone.
Exactly, because the ride is so crazy. Shit will just fly out of your pockets.
How do they know you have a phone?
Oh, dude. So there's a security guard, a cop. There's people like undercover walking around the line the entire time. And if you pull out your phone, they catch you. You're out. Like, you don't get to get back.
You could be waiting 2.5 hours.
You could be the next person on the ride. If you have your phone and they see it, you're done. You're out. So.
Are you serious?
Swear to God, dude. So, I actually snuck my phone in.
Oh,
just because. Cedar Point's not listening. Come on. But I didn't mess with it because I was terrified. But I had it just in case my mother-in-law called because she was watching my kids all day. I mean, God forbid something went wrong, especially if it's
especially because Ben was only
he was super young and he was having issues. So, 3.5 hours, no phone. We actually had conversation with each other. There was 4 of us. We played games. I haven't laughed that hard, smiled that big in years. Dude, I'm telling you, we had the best time.
Yeah.
I said it was like probably a social experiment. They had cameras, like security cameras everywhere. But they're probably recording all this and looking to see how people act without their phones.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
I'm a huge proponent of phones and like technology and all that kind of stuff. Like I'm a huge fan of how the positives of it. But having said that, like, doing this podcast has made me like really understand the value of sitting down, having conversation, looking at people,
and learning things.
Like, we're learning so much doing ours. just about like fatherhood and like just meeting new people.
Right.
You know, it's been amazing.
Yeah, like I still remember when they had the party for their like grand opening for Marky Fresh Studios. And I remember Dave was in the podcast room with us. We were just messing around talking.
Oh yeah.
They had like the live
that's right.
broadcast
Yeah,
going
that's
on.
right.
And
He
he
was.
sat down, he was talking, and maybe one of your guys' other buddies who was, what do you say his business was? Death? Because he ran like a funeral
Matt.
service.
Yeah, our friend Matt.
Yeah.
Little Mexican kid.
Yeah.
Well, big Mexican.
Yeah.
And Dave's just,
He's not
Dave's
Mexican, but I was.
Whatever.
I
don't
remember.
people always mistake me for being Mexican, I'll be honest with
Yeah.
you. But I remember Dave sitting there that night and being like, we're going to start a podcast for sports. I remember him saying that. Like,
Yeah,
that night.
dude, I remember that too. Because
Ian
he was
like,
sitting over in the corner.
Yeah,
I was in the middle.
and I was all the way up
Yeah.
against the wall. And Ian and I have been talking about doing this for over a year.
like a year and a half now, right?
Yeah. And like, we're like, this is it. This is our opportunity to get it started finally the right way.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
But yeah, that's how I remember you guys getting started right there. And you guys started the night we did, I think.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, because
we were
right
right.
before,
Right before
us.
us. I think, right? Or was it after?
I think it was after.
Yeah, I don't know which.
I think. I don't know.
It
It was
yeah.
before,
But regardless,
after.
yeah.
But same night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, our first one was tough because we didn't know what the hell we were doing. But
Yeah, we didn't
Oh,
either.
yeah.
The benefit that we had, which you guys probably had too, because on your first one, it didn't seem at all like you were nervous. We've all, me, Mike, and Dave at the time. You know, Mike's left the show recently, and then Scotty's been on, but I've known Dave since I was wearing diapers.
Right.
And it's like we grew up together. We played baseball together. We literally
Right.
like
you guys are
childhood
comfortable
friends.
just to sit here and bullshit with
Yeah,
each
so
other.
literally all it is it's like just some microphones and stuff. But when you have close friends in the room, you don't even.
I feel like it
Think
takes
about it.
like less than 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Kinda
And
forget
then,
about
Like,
even if
I-
you've never
I-
done it before, it takes like 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden you don't even realize the
I
shit's
still
there.
bust his balls because at the time I had a little experience with podcasting. Dave was at that party, and our very first episode, Mike led off like the first 10 seconds when he talked. It was the most awkward thing ever because we have the Trend podcast, and the way that our podcast started off is what it's supposed to be, which we keep going back and forth with each other because I keep like, hey, it's supposed to be about trending topics, including the sports world, but it's more or less because we're all like sports heads that it's like
That's what you
developed
gravitate
into like
towards.
sports.
Yeah.
And it's like I keep trying to pull it back
Oh,
to
I
like
gotcha.
other trending things to try and keep it more like
General.
general.
Yeah.
We can go towards sports
Right.
90%, but it's like still pepper in some other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike literally like did this thing. It was the corniest thing ever. You got to watch it, but he's just like, "Hey Dave, so what's trending?" And then he literally said it like
This
that.
fake anchor voice.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it was
Oh,
terrible.
right.
It was so terrible. And I
on the
told him,
trend.
"Oh, Dave's like, yeah, whatever," and he literally said it just corny like that too. And I love it. We busted his balls about it.
And you always have that.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna have to watch that.
Oh yeah, right in the beginning, he's like, "Hey Dave, what's trending?" And it was like the most scripted. Like he must have thought about that the whole day, like what he was gonna say.
How we gonna
He's in front of the mirror, like
Yeah, he's,
does this
he's
look
just like,
good?
"Dave, what's trending?" Like,
He's like, that's gonna be my punchline every episode.
oh yeah, oh, but he realized, I think immediately after he did it, when I was sitting there, I was sitting next to him, like, "Oh my god." And he heard me and he looked at me. I think ever since then he just stopped.
It's like, yeah,
But-
you guys started off.
But no, it was cool, man, and met a lot of cool people. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like, because I remember just hanging out at the studio because we know Marco.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Larry. I didn't know you.
Good for you.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now
It was a
I
nice
see
time
Larry
in
a
my
lot.
life.
Yeah, it was great.
He's
until he
followed me around my whole life.
lives right down the street.
A little lost puppy dog.
No, but you're right though. Like meeting new people though. Like when I first saw you, you were working on the studio, you were
Yeah.
building everything, and like kind of met each other in passing, but we
Right.
didn't really have a conversation or anything. I would just dropped off the fog machine. But by the way, Marco, I need my fog machine back.
He still didn't give it back to you? He probably gave it to the new tenant.
Those guys just
You
having a
can't have
rave
it
Those
back.
guys.
Yeah, it's included with the rent.
Yeah, we'll just give it to him. And what do you think was filled with juice?
I mean, yeah, you didn't really need it, right?
yeah. My kid loves that thing.
Oh, that guy. He's something else. Dude, I went there the other day. When was that? It was like a week ago. I showed up over there. I wasn't there for a while. I took my kid to get his hair cut. And I dropped him off to get his hair done, and I walk in the back. And these two freaking clowns, Marco and Spencer, back there. Their couch is next to the dumpster. And they're just sitting out back on this couch next to the dumpster.
Taking videos.
No, they're just sitting out there. And I walk out there. What is that?
Is there a picture of them?
You can get it
Oh,
up
yeah,
there.
there it is.
Yeah. They're just sitting out there on this couch. I walk out there, look, I'm like, what are you guys doing? They're just like, just hanging out. I'm like, guys, it's 5 o'clock on a Wednesday.
It could have been selling a podcast space.
Yeah.
Kept the studio around.
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing, but dude,
downtime.
never a dull moment with them.
Oh, yeah, they're
seriously.
great
I always
dudes.
said Marco's like one of the most entertaining people I've ever hung around.
Yeah, no,
So
he's
He's always
because
life
you never
of
know what
party
you're gonna
type of
get.
thing. Yeah.
yeah,
for
Marco.
sure.
I didn't know Marco until shit. I think I met him when we did the podcast room, didn't we? I don't think I really knew him that well beforehand.
So Larry hooked you up. Larry hooked up Marco with everybody.
Yeah, well, it was kind of cool. Like the minute I met him, though, I mean, I haven't known him that long. And the minute I met him, it was like I've known him for years.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
It's
a good
like-
dude, man.
It took 5 seconds. Once I met him, 5 seconds after that, he started dissing Larry, and I was like,
All right,
"All
this
right,
guy's
man,
all right.
yeah, we're good, we're good. We're gonna be well together."
That's awesome.
Oh, Larry.
Hey, we're drinking in honor of
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
Trend CLE.
Oh,
I brought
nice.
some Cleveland whiskey. Help yourselves. If you're
Yeah,
loved.
is there any more ice?
It is
As much
really
as you
good.
want. Yeah, it's pretty
Did we
good.
lose the ice?
Oh, there's ice.
Okay, good. I'm gonna need a little more ice.
I think it's.
It's That's another thing. I guess I'll bring up about
Larry's
having
supposed to be
girls.
our host.
I know. I don't know why
Larry,
he
why don't you
wasn't
give us-
pouring drinks for us.
What? You
Oh, you already blocked it once. You
Stuck
stuck
your
your
arm
phone
in front of it.
Yeah, I think you flicked us off. Oh,
Yeah, he did actually. You could
I'm
take it
good.
off.
I'm good.
I didn't want all that though.
That's okay. Maybe it's there now. No, it's fine. But yeah, no, I mean, even the thing talking about the podcast real quick before we go away from that.
Yeah.
It's like, so many people, even Mike and Dave and myself, and I know Larry has, and I don't know if you guys have. You guys play the game of like, hey, like we got to get followers, we got to get subscribers, and it's like, yeah, we push that stuff, but man, at the end of the day, it's like, who gives a damn? Like, we're not trying to make money. We're not trying to do a damn thing.
No,
This
because
is
you know
literally
what?
something to do.
At the same time,
It's
like,
like-
what are we gonna quit?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather. I was trying to explain it to somebody at work today. I'm like, dude, you know what the best part is? Like, a Friday night rolls around. I know I get to do this.
Yeah.
You know, I get to go hang out.
That's how you know
meet
we're
someone
old.
new. Oh, God,
That's how you know
right?
we're old.
I know.
Yeah, I know,
Like,
right?
dude, you imagine 21 years old and be like, hey, what are you going to do this Friday?
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to
sit
sit
in
in
a
a
room
room
and
and
talk to
talk to my friends. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
No, but
God.
it's
Sounds
100%
cool, man.
true though, because like we tell each other all the time, like this is for us, and then if we can impact anyone else down the line, like that's great. Because we do, we would love to have some kind of a reach where some kid who finds out that he's gonna be a dad is freaking the fuck out and is like, oh well, I can follow these guys and listen to some of their crazy stories
Yeah.
and like they're okay. Like,
And for
there's-
someone to sit there and listen and be like, okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
right.
I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
No,
not messing
you're
up as a
not.
parent.
And
You
that's
know
the
what I mean?
point. But at the same time, like we're also cool if once a week we're sitting down together with somebody new and talking about dad shit or talking about whatever, and just having fun with it. And because like I said, we said it's like therapeutic and like that's our time that we can do it and it's cool and it's a long game too. Like from like because you do want to grow it. You want to make something cool out of it, but
yeah.
it's not going to happen overnight.
No, it's
Like-
not. I mean, it's just literally a matter in the meantime. Just like I told those guys, like, I'm just going to have fun. I'm going to do whatever. Sure, you could push a couple views here and there. Hey, can you follow this
Yeah,
or watch
yeah.
this or whatever?
Yeah.
But it's like, I really don't give a damn
Right.
about any of that.
Right.
Like, I really don't care. Like,
Right.
if you want to follow it, follow it. If you want to subscribe to it, subscribe to it.
Which you should subscribe to
Yeah,
their stuff
yes.
because it's very entertaining.
It's
No, it is, and it's hilarious too.
Like I was
some of
listening to
the some of the stuff, like I said,
I-
I think because we're very like outspoken people, and like right now I'm behaving because it's like I'm on somebody else's thing, so it's like
You don't
man,
have to
let
behave.
loose, man.
But I mean, you've watched it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
we can get into some stuff sometimes. And
Well, my favorite bit, and it's not even about sports, is your random facts.
oh yeah,
Like last week's was the pandas.
the pandas.
Which was good, but the goat one,
Oh.
I don't remember what episode
the
that
goats
was.
that urinate on their heads to be more
Yeah,
attractive.
I was rolling.
You
I
know
probably listened to that or watched that like 4 different times.
Dude, you know what the funny thing is about those facts? Like, Larry and I, you literally used to like look up these facts all the time and just like send them back and forth to each other or just
Yeah.
talk about them randomly.
Yeah.
And it's just never ending. Like, there's so many things that you look at, you're like, what the fuck? Like, how is that even true? And then like you search it, and finally it was like on our one episode, I'm just like, I'm just gonna start bringing up bullshit.
That's a really good bit. Like,
yeah,
it's
like,
awesome.
It's fun. It's
Put
just
it in
something to
every
do. It
single
breaks
one.
up the. I honestly did that to break up the sports,
Right,
because like so many things were about sports, and it was like I gotta think of something that can get us off topic.
right.
Talk
Get
about
away from
something
that a little
different.
bit.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Because it always seems like our show goes sports, and then totally off the rails, just talking about bullshit, and then a random fact out of nowhere. Then somehow we always end up with the freaking Kardashians because they're
you
everywhere.
guys do talk
Dude,
about the
they're
Kardashians
everywhere.
a lot. I mean, I guess
Dude,
it's always
I
trending.
cannot even.
everywhere.
If I could say somebody that I can't stand, it's them. Do you like the Kardashians?
I used listen.
All
All right.
I'm
Rick's
intrigued because I
gonna
have
make
something
some
to ask you
enemies
after
on your
this.
show, I guess. Listen, I used to love the Kardashian show.
Yeah?
Okay? Call me what you want.
Hey, I don't have anything to say.
I used to love it.
I
Okay.
do, but I don't.
Bruce, whatever his name is now, I don't know, but
Caitlyn.
Bruce, though.
Did it ruin
when,
it for you?
When he was Bruce, I literally would watch that show and be like, that dude has the best life in the world. Like, I would love to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy anymore.
Do you realize that
You
those
see what
guys
that
ruin
life
everybody's
turned him
lives? Do
into?
you see what happens to these guys when
Do
they
you
get
see
into
the
that
whole
house?
family?
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Chris
of them. They
Humphries,
go crazy.
Yeah.
John. Who was the other one?
Lamar
Lamar.
They lose their
found him
freaking
in-
minds.
Passed
found
out
him
in a
passed out in the
brothel.
brothel. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
Scott,
the best
Scott's
thing-
a drunk addict, drunk.
How could you not be?
Kanye lost his
I'd be
fucking
a
mind.
fucking
Bruce was-
raging alcoholic.
Bruce
Kanye's
was
out
like,
of his
fuck
mind.
this. I'm just gonna
He
chop
said,
it off, and I'm gonna be a woman.
I'm going to join him.
Like-
He's like, you know what? I lost my fucking mind. I'm just going to join him. Become
At
a woman
some
with him.
point, it's like it's not luck, and it's like there's something fucked up in that family.
Yeah.
And it's like I think that's what's so addictive to everybody.
Here's the reality, and I've never really sat down and watched an episode of the show, but my wife used to, and so like I would go in or whatever, and she's watching. I'm like, oh, are we really watching this? And I would catch myself. I'm like, all right, it's like 10 minutes, and I'm
It's
still watching. I'm like, all right, I got to get
freaking
out of here.
Train wreck. You just can't stop.
But the reality is they're freaking geniuses,
Dude.
like, and I know that's insane to say, but
really, no, they are absolutely.
well, because they
geniuses.
come off as like like the
The dumbest people
ditzy,
alive.
dumbest people alive,
But they're
or
entertainment
whatever.
for people, and
but
they know.
they know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, I know.
They know they've built
know.
the biggest brands. I mean, they're
Look at
insane.
what's the youngest?
I've-
Kylie. She's
I've
a
never watched an
billionaire.
episode of it since Bruce did that.
Really.
I've never watched another episode of it ever. Kylie's a billionaire.
She's a billionaire.
Billion.
Is she like
Billionaire.
22 years old or
Billion.
something like that?
22 years old.
And you know what I want to say is, can you really be called a self-made billionaire when you're part of that family? You're already. Are you
Yeah,
not already,
I mean,
you already.
as long as you understand that
right?
yourself
I
is
don't know.
included in your family, like your family's
don't know.
included in self, because like
Okay,
what's her
maybe I
name?
can't-
Who's
That
the mom?
girl's, but that girl's got enough money to buy her
She does.
family.
Oh, for sure. But
She
who's
does.
your
She
mom?
buys
What's
Kanye,
the mom's
Kim,
name?
Chris.
Chris.
She's the biggest
She's-
pimp of them all.
she knows
is
exactly
the
what she's doing.
mastermind
She's a
behind all.
genius.
Do you guys see what the
She has-
Kardashians did? You guys are suckered in now too. We're talking
No, I
about the
didn't
I
fucking
can't believe this show
Kardashians.
just turned into the Kardashians.
Yeah. It was just a statement of me saying something. Now here you guys are too. Let's just get off the
What are you
fucking
doing?
Just get off of them. Let's just get off.
It's
How
a
about the
dad
weather
show.
today? It's supposed to snow
Hey,
tomorrow.
Hey, I got a question for you.
We got a golf
We can
outing
change the
tomorrow.
topic for you.
Yeah.
So I heard you're not a #1 Game of Thrones fan,
Oh,
Or-
yeah.
or
Did you guys vote?
or Avengers.
You don't like either, or you're just not into it? Or?
Okay. I've never watched an Avengers. I don't even know what it's about. I
You've
think
never
it's
watched
about, like,
any of
comic
those
books
movies
or something.
Not one of those movies. Never.
Not one of them. Not even Iron Man.
Never.
Wow.
I've watched Homes on Homes. I've watched HGTV.
Oh, I was gonna say you do love your show.
I love like construction.
What was that
like,
one show you were talking about?
Oak Island?
Yes, Oak Island.
Fuck Oak Island. We're not. No.
No, you're
fuck
done
it.
with it now?
wait,
That was
wait,
not that
wait.
long
Wait,
ago.
Wait,
I
wait,
feel
wait.
like.
In the last 10 years,
I've never watched it.
you've never watched one of those movies. There's 22 of them now.
Is there seriously 22?
Yeah,
No.
like the one that just came out is
Never.
number
You can
22.
ask Larry. Like he asks me about movies all the time. I don't go to movies. I don't watch movies.
So you don't watch any movies?
No.
Okay, that's
Okay.
respectable then. Okay, it makes sense.
No.
I thought you were just
Okay.
not like.
Yeah, I mean,
Into
yeah,
those
you know,
movies.
if
I
you're
don't-
not
I-
into
I-
movies.
I
But
love
like,
horror movies. I watch.
So I didn't
scary
know-
I
movies.
love horror movies.
So it's not I'm not doing this because other people
No,
say it's
no.
amazing, and I just
No,
want to be
I
that
don't-
guy. Because there's a
yeah,
lot of those
no, I
people
don't
out there
give a
like,
damn.
well, I haven't watched Game
They
of
just wanna
Thrones, or
oppose
I don't
everything,
want
yeah,
to
yeah.
watch.
No, I
this
don't
or
give a
that.
damn about anybody's opinion on anything. I just
That's a good way to. Be.
don't.
If you
I don't have
ever,
any interest in Superman and Spider-Man and or whatever the Thor.
Oh, those are two different.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea. They're two what?
Superman's not.
Superman's
part of
not.
Marvel.
That's not?
No.
Okay,
DC,
well,
bro.
how the fuck am I supposed to know?
All right, so
I
it's
know you're not,
authentic.
I know,
It's
I know.
authentic.
It's
He
funny.
really
I
doesn't
know.
know.
You know I'm not bullshitting. You have no idea. And it's the Game of Thrones. I've never watched it, and Dave seems to just have a fascination about it. And then literally, it must have been just luck. But everybody I asked about it, because I always try to branch out and be like, okay, well, maybe I'm the asshole. Like,
Right.
hey, do you watch it? No, the show sucks. Hey, do you watch it? No, it's gay porn. Hey, do you watch it? No, I hate it. No, hey, do you watch it? No, there's just little dicks everywhere. And it's
Okay,
like,
maybe to start, I feel like they got away from the dicks a little bit since like the.
there really is a problem with penises on the show?
No,
No, South Park made a joke about it at one point, like after the first
There was like
season. Or something.
two episodes where
Larry, what do you got
Larry
over
told me the penis comment.
There's dicks and incest everywhere.
there's
there?
a lot
There
of
is
incest.
Okay,
There's
well,
a lot
that's
of incest.
freaking weird. But anyway,
That
I've never
is
watched
weird.
it. So I put the poll out on Facebook.
Yeah, I voted.
Unintended.
What'd you vote for? It was greatest?
It's the greatest,
Or what?
yeah.
Okay. Well, we had 56 votes, and it's like literally dead 50-50.
Yeah.
Regardless,
No, you could ask anybody, and you're gonna get a different answer.
but regardless, though, to support Dave's comment of it's the best show ever,
Okay, I'm not gonna.
it would not be a 50-50 thing. If you're talking about a show that's in the running for like the
Top
best show
three.
ever,
It's top three.
like- stop.
It's top 3.
Top 3, I gotta see.
Holmes on Holmes is nowhere near the conversation.
No, I don't expect
That
it
dude's
to be.
such a dick, by
Saved
the
by
way.
the Bell, though.
No.
What
Come
did you
on,
say?
No.
Saved by the Bell.
No.
It's one of the best run. It's still out.
No, it's not. It's a rerun.
No, yeah.
Episodes of
Well, that's because they're all crackheads by now.
What about Seinfeld? Was one of the greatest shows.
Seinfeld's
Yeah.
up there for sure.
Game of Thrones is not.
It is.
That's like saying Sons of Anarchy and all that's like the best shows ever. Like,
No.
Okay, so
Not
I
Sons.
will
Sons
say
was
this,
a good
I will say
show
this
for
about
like
those
4
shows.
seasons.
How many seasons of Game of Thrones is there?
This is number 8.
So typically, when there's a show like Sons of Anarchy, it gets so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
like after the
a while.
3rd season, it just repeats itself.
But
Yeah.
this
It's just
show
absurd.
keeps you just hooked the whole time. There's
so you
always
both
something-
voted that you liked it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Hey, you know what?
hey, by all means, it might be the greatest show ever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
I've
it's the
never
greatest show
watched
of all
it.
time, but
Listen, if I was going to tell you though, if you
If
said,
it
"Hey,
was-
Ian, I want to branch out. I want to watch something that like maybe I'll get entertained by and maybe I won't," and pick one,
Yeah.
I would say watch like the very first Iron Man movie and go that route over Game of Thrones.
absolutely, you'd be more entertained with the Marvel movies.
It's super
I did that
entertaining.
not too long ago, actually. I put a thing out there. I was like, hey, I'm looking for a real good series to watch or scary
yeah.
movie on Netflix. I was like, what do you guys got? And of course, everyone chimes in. But the biggest one was Ozark.
Ozark was
Ozark's
cool.
really good.
You know what? I didn't watch the second season.
But I
only
started
saw the
watching
first.
it, and like I got like
was okay.
two episodes in, and then all I started doing was realizing that it was like Sons of Anarchy in the later seasons,
Yeah.
where I was just sitting there fast forwarding through the clips because you could tell
Yeah,
they're just
yeah.
talking to each other and just BS, and you get to like action, then I'd stop
and
and
it just
play.
gets so
Well,
ridiculous.
especially if you're into like some action.
Yeah, like, I
the
wanna
Marvel
see, like-
movies would be cool.
But it's fake. It's like
Every movie is
What's
fake.
no,
real?
those movies are real.
No, they're all fake.
No, they're all real.
Oh, the horror
Jason
movies are
Bourne.
real.
I'm gonna turn
Jason
you.
Bourne, you kidding me?
Jason
So let's go.
Bourne's
Let's go to
great.
horror movies
Yeah.
real quick. How real?
Jason
are those?
Bourne is great.
Horror movies are real too.
Like Jason
kind of horror are you
Voorhees.
talking
Killer
about?
Clowns from Outer Space.
What kind
Which
of
horror
horrors?
movies do you like?
Well, it depends.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No,
Okay.
that's
Is that what
not
you're
real.
into?
That one's you're stretching.
There's one person that I know that loves that movie, and he tried to convince Ian and I. that
Killer
it was the
Clowns?
Best movie.
Yeah.
We watched it. I
Stop
wanted
it.
It's the
Larry.
worst.
Stop it. I've never
You
even.
like
I've
that
never
movie?
even
It's like an
watched it.
'80s beef.
That's
like
about
a
as
D flick.
It's got to be as bad as Bird. What is that? Bird Box or whatever that stupid ass movie
Oh, it's probably
was.
way worse.
Oh, did you ever see that?
No, I
Everyone
didn't
was,
even
everyone
watch
was
it.
all blowing smoke about this Bird Box.
No, I didn't watch
The
it.
stupidest fucking movie I've ever
It was.
seen.
That to me, like when I watched like the trailer for it or whatever, it reminded me of The Happening, and The Happening is the last quote unquote horror or suspense movie like
Worst
that I've
movie.
ever seen. Him and I. Did you see The Happening with Mark Wahlberg?
No, I hate Mark Wahlberg. Ever since
Cool with that.
Departed.
what
'Cause he
was, the,
doesn't
what was the
die.
movie where he was obsessed with the girl?
Oh wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's when you started not liking him.
yeah.
That was his first movie.
Yeah, I hated him. And then Wahlburgers really pisses me off when I watch that.
Yeah.
I went into a Wahlburgers in Carolina, and it was fucking terrible.
So you
the
like
hell was
reality
that
TV?
movie?
That's
I
your
love
thing.
reality
You
TV.
love
All right,
reality
I'd say,
TV.
you know, I can
because
respect
it's
that.
real.
So you like-
I mean, you said it's all fake. You know
Well,
that you don't
What
like.
was that movie?
But that's what I mean. But yeah, The Happening turned me off.
I
to
like sports.
any-
I like sports. I like
Look it up,
fighting.
Larry.
I like
Yeah.
reality. Well, some reality TV. I've kind of gotten a buzzkill on reality TV.
Yeah.
Not to get into details or anything, but like I've met a lot of people in reality TV, and you find out a lot of stuff that
Oh, how staged it is and everything.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of reality
Like
to
the-
reality TV, but like there's, again, I don't want to get into it, but there's
kinda
things
do.
you find out that,
I would believe that 100%.
yeah, and it's like, you know, that sucks. Like I've been fucking watching this.
I
this
mean,
whole
my
time, and it's like,
my
fuck you guys. Like,
yeah.
you know,
My understanding of reality, and maybe I'm completely wrong, is that it's probably a loose reenactment of something that actually happened, but they make it better so that it's more entertaining.
Well, yeah, because
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
you could follow a family or a person and
Yeah, it'd be boring as shit.
well,
well, fuck yeah, they have to come up with content.
Right,
You can't just put
right.
out episodes
Yeah.
of just daily life.
I
You
mean,
know how boring
we've
it would
been
be?
on stuff even, and it's like you see like stuff that'll happen, and then it's like you'll see a producer be like, "Hey, you know, I need you guys to do that again,"
Right.
and it's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Do it again." He's like, "No, come back here and do what you just did again, but this time,"
Then it's not real.
and you're like, "Oh, okay," and then you do it.
Then
and
it's
like-
acting.
yeah, and it's
Right.
acting, and it's like after seeing stuff like that, and then you see, you know, talking to people that are in that industry, and then you're like, "Oh man, like." You know, it's real. Like there's real content, but it's like the
Yeah. It's
build up and-
Yeah.
What,
Anyway,
But
what
hey,
are you
good
doing
for
with
them.
reality TV? Let's
I don't know. Wait, what? What?
reality TV. He was saying that you saw firsthand reality TV. What were you doing with that?
Oh well, we were doing a show with a friend of ours for like a build up for some stuff,
Okay.
and you could just see like the build up that goes into it and like the production behind it,
Yeah.
and then like I have a couple friends that are on TV doing reality shows, and it's
Oh, okay.
you just kind of
Right.
I mean, you could see,
See
it,
behind the
dude.
curtain.
Okay.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's layers.
It takes away from the
But
entertainment
take for example
value.
the
yeah,
those,
I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but
No, no, no.
they actually might watch some. I don't want to.
But how can you
Plus, I don't
not
want to shit on them.
Yeah, right.
realize that? Like, watch that. What are those shows called on HGTV? My wife watches them all the time, like that Love It or List It stuff.
That's
You always have to
biggest,
have the good
fakest-
cop, bad cop, and it's just the most. You can tell these people.
Those houses are bought already.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already picked
Yeah, I
those.
Those
believe
I'll
that.
gladly
Yeah.
share that.
Yeah.
Those houses, like,
yeah.
flip this house.
the-
Those are
But that's so.
houses are already
The
bought.
producers
for-
buy the right, like or like the like HGTV will
No,
buy
like,
them.
like for example, the episodes. Who's that? Joanna Gaines and
Oh yeah,
Chip,
Chip
whatever.
and
I
Joe.
forgot the name of the show.
Shit.
I don't know. We all know what it is. Though.
Yeah, my
It's
wife's
show,
it's
yeah.
like my wife's
Well,
favorite.
But yeah, where like the person will like look for like 4 different houses, and then they'll pick one, and then like they
Right.
redesign it.
They've
for
already
them,
bought
and then
the
they're
house.
Like, hey, here's your house. It's like no, they bought that
They've
house
already bought the
They
house. Now
applied
they're
for the
looking
show.
at comps.
Yeah,
to,
and then
like,
they
make a
came
show
in.
out of
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Somebody bought a house. They bought a fixer upper. They
Fixer
had
upper.
this company. But
That's
yeah,
what it's
that's what
called.
it's called.
Boom.
Yeah,
Just like that.
And then they had these guys come in there and they fix up to the design that they wanted to and they agreed on.
Yeah.
Because how many? I mean, I don't know everybody that well, but I mean, I'm sure that none of us are so well off that we could care less about $500,000. Right.
Oh.
I mean, if you were buying $500,000 house, you know, I do construction. I feel I'm pretty damn good at it. Would you give me $500,000? Be like, hey man, build me a house. No. Be like, what do you want? Be like, it's a surprise. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna know until I show
come
up
Back
you.
in 5
pay
days.
for it.
It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and it'll be ready in 4 days. Like, get the fuck out of here with that.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now it's the whole world of reality TV. See how fast you can get into reality
I know,
TV?
right?
You guys
We
are the
really
dads.
did, like-
you
Yeah,
guys
we
are the
should probably-
dads. We talked about the Avengers. We talked
probably
about
We
talk about
talked
some
about
dad
the
shit.
Kardashians for a solid 5
the
minutes.
I
Kardashians.
know. We're gonna have to cut that. No, I'm just joking.
That's good content. The wives will maybe the wives will watch it then.
Yeah, maybe.
Listen, that's what you try to do. Try and get more audience.
Yeah, right.
I do want to
Branching
ask you a
out.
question. So I don't know if we want to start this already.
Did
Yeah,
I answer
yeah,
your
do
first
you-
2 questions?
Well, I don't
I asked
remember
you the
what our
first two
questions
questions?
were.
Did
you
I
ask
answer
questions?
your first 2 questions? I think I did, right?
Yeah, you answered the question.
I don't
It was
remember
a very
what the
long.
question
You did. No, you
it was a
did.
Very
That's cool.
long answer.
You know, but it branches out, and that's the best
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
about
yeah.
asking these questions.
What do you
You
got?
know, we're gonna say, do you have a proud dad
Oh, yeah.
moment? Like, I mean, I don't know if you've seen our other stuff, but just like a proud dad moment, something that sticks out to you. It could be any one of your kids.
So what we found is like when we, especially somebody that we don't know their kids or
Yeah.
anything, it's kind of cool to put a dad on the spot and think back to something that's happened in the last week or two, and then you're like, holy shit, I'm really freaking proud that my son or my daughter
Or
did
5 years
this.
ago, or-
or 5 years ago, you know, whatever. Like I remember this, and like that was like really sticks out to me as like, holy shit, I'm proud to be this kid's dad.
Right
And
on the spot.
Everyone
There's-
does this.
That's all.
Listen,
that's
it
the
is.
most-
And the problem is like there's so many,
there's so
and then
much.
there's some that you want to talk about but you can't because there's people that listen to this that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably there's so many. Like, I mean, obviously you could say, oh, well, you know, like my son's like so damn smart. He comes home with like those report cards and his tests and
Sure.
Probably the most proud moment, is probably when they stick up for their little sister, for Kendall.
Yeah.
Like Nick will get really pissed and like snap on his friend. You know, like, he'll yell at him like, hey, like, don't do that to her. Don't do this. Or, you know, he'll come tell me like, hey, I don't want to play with them anymore because they did this. And it's like,
That's pretty cool.
like, that's probably,
That's pretty
or
cool.
Peyton will fight.
Yeah.
Peyton will hit somebody.
Yeah.
It's like,
She's not messing
you know,
around.
yeah. So that's probably the
fight
proudest thing, is to see that like they carry the same like emotion with Kendall that, you know, myself and their mom
Yeah.
do. So that's probably,
Yeah, that's
That's
awesome.
awesome,
man.
That's
Yeah,
that's a good
That's-
proud
that's
dad
a-
moment.
That's
like,
good because I mean it is
Well, because
true,
that's
though.
telling you that like,
They
okay,
get it.
I've raised the other kids to understand and appreciate the situation and stick up for
Yeah.
their younger sibling. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Because that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I was a big brother. Like,
Yeah,
dude, me and my brother are completely different, but I've always been able, like,
you stuck up for him.
I'll always
Oh,
stick
yeah.
up for him. You know what I
My
mean?
brothers
That's
were the best. And I
no
stuck
one-
up for
no
my-
one picks on
I
them
was
but
the youngest
me.
of three, and
Oh,
no
yeah.
one. Like, it was easy for me growing up because my brothers always watched my back. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of easy growing up.
Yeah. I was
At the
friends
same
with
time, I
your
watched
brother.
up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, Mikey.
Oh, Mikey.
We saw Mike last
Mikey.
night.
Such a nice guy, that Mike. He was
Mike's the nicest
Did he,
guy
did
ever.
he still live over there by where Turk used to live? Didn't he used to live over there in Men on the Lake or
Oh
something?
no, he lives in Fairport.
But did he used to live in Men on the Lake like a long
Mike?
time ago? Yeah.
Maybe a long time ago. Yeah, I can't keep track of it.
I can't remember the hop. I think he lived like a few doors down.
I had a
from my
feeling
buddy.
you knew Mike. Is it?
Yeah, I knew Mike.
All right.
Yeah,
Mike's the best.
Such
I
a
love
nice
Mike.
guy.
Mike was.
Dude,
I haven't talked to Mike in God only knows how long. What's up, Mike?
Dude, Mike's
Hang out. Yeah, what's up, Mike?
Hey,
He
Mike.
wants to come on the show too. He's all
Really?
excited.
I know.
He's like-
Well, I want to
he's-
get you and your brothers on and like me interview all three of you.
Yeah, we might fight.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Next episode.
We'll think about it.
Nice.
well, that's cool.
No, but yeah. Actually, Mike was really excited about it. He's like, "You didn't tell me you were doing podcasts." I'm like,
Dude,
Yeah,
Mike's
man.
the most supportive and like most positive person I know. Like,
Really?
oh my god, dude, like if I'm ever
he'll be
like
so excited about anything. You're
not
doing. He'll
happy
support
about
you it.
something, I can like throw a text out to Mike and be like, "Hey man, how's it going?" He's like, "Man, today's a great day. It's
He'll
so
be-
good to hear from you." Like it's the best. Like he's so uplifting.
He is.
My brother would be the opposite. I'd be like, Randy, I'm doing a podcast. And he'd be like, fucking loser.
I didn't even talk to my brother Chris about it because I figured he'll just make fun of me.
Yeah.
Chris
So
would.
Chris is like brutally honest with me about everything, and no matter what type of opinion I have on everything, he'll oppose it
Yeah.
and make me feel like I'm the worst person for thinking that way.
I mean, he's a good dude too.
Oh, he is. He's like he's my fucking hero. Like
Yeah.
trust me, I've emulated like what
Yeah.
Chris does my whole life. I work with him. So, but yeah. Anyway, that being said, like,
Yeah.
my brothers always stuck up for me growing up, and I stuck up for them. It was the same thing.
Yeah.
So like to see your kids doing that,
Yeah, that's
I
awesome.
always try to tell Sam, I'm like, I know you're being like you want to fight your brother because he's stealing your toys, and they're 3-1, so
Oh, yeah.
it's whatever sticks with them. But I say, Sam, you no matter what, you always stick up for your brother, protect him no matter what,
Mhm.
you know, because there's gonna be situations one day where you're gonna have to watch his back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I don't tell him that exactly.
Right.
That's what I'm
No,
thinking in
but
my
that's
head,
what
like,
you're trying to
he's
portray.
3.
And
Oh, yeah. No, I told mine. I told him. I
I
said,
do
listen,
say it, but it's
I
like,
said, if you're going to get in more trouble if you don't do something.
right.
yeah, stick up for your sibling. It's like you have to protect them.
Family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And I always say, I'm like, Ben will probably be.
Ben's gonna be a
He's
badass.
gonna be a tough.
Oh,
kid.
yeah.
So Sammy though.
Well, Sam's a big kid, but he's such a.
He's
softie.
sensitive.
He's so sensitive.
Good. Just keep him
But
away
that's
from my
good.
daughters.
Sam's a little ladies man. He
Yeah,
walks
he
out of
is.
the daycare.
Different ladies. Different ladies.
Every
though.
single
Dude,
girl
trust
at
me,
the
I'm
daycare.
terrified.
Yeah,
Telling
his
you.
daughter's.
It's
he's around him a
terrible.
lot.
She's more into Ben.
Yeah. Well, Ben's
She's
got
always
scar-
going over and giving him hugs.
So my little guy's got 50 scars on him. He's got
Yeah.
a huge zipper scar down the middle.
Zipper Club.
Oh, yeah.
He's already got stitches in his eyebrow. He's
Girls will like it
standing-
one day.
I know. That's
Yep.
what
It's
I
not my
always tell
time.
him.
Well, that's what I worry about him because I follow this group on Facebook. It's for the condition that he had, and you see these kids that are like teenagers and they're very self conscious of their scars. You know, I want to make sure that I tell them like, hey man, this is it's cool. You
Yeah.
know,
Show
you know,
that
it's
shit
kinda-
off.
It's badass, dude.
So
Chicks dig
badass.
scars.
Yeah.
He has shirts that say "Chicks dig scars." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I hope that
Just not his
he's never
scars.
self conscious about it.
Right. No, that's good.
Yeah, that's
Good.
awesome.
Oh,
Hey,
but anyway,
before we go on to the next one, before I forget, I want to shout out to D's Diaper Cakes. My buddy Tim, or our buddy Tim, dude, they sent us these rocks glasses and put our logo on them. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
And they sent us
Who
some
is
shirts,
it? Tim?
yeah, my buddy Tim.
Tim,
he's in
we need
South
some for
Carolina.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Tim,
in
where
South
the hell Where
Carolina.
the hell are our cups?
You guys see the logo. Yeah. Start following these guys, Tim.
We'll throw a link out for their little
yeah, we'll put it on our site.
their
on our
shop that
page.
they got going on. It's
They're
pretty
nice
cool.
cups,
Yeah,
man. They're
yeah,
cool.
They're
They're
really
quality,
nice
man.
cups. Yeah, I felt bad. They actually sent them to us and they broke, and they got returned. Like we didn't even receive
know.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's like, yeah, they came back, so we'll send them out again. I'm like, dude, like, thanks, but you don't have to go through all that trouble. But they sent them out and we got them finally, and like,
They're really nice. They're
really
cool, man.
awesome.
Yeah.
So
this
That's
is
sweet.
Thank you. Thank you
guys
very
got a good
much.
thing going.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Minus Larry. Are you guys going to have a dog dad on soon? Have you guys had a dog dad
We've
yet?
not had a dog dad on.
Dog
and
dad.
We're dog
Yeah.
people. Are you guys cat people at all?
Fuck no.
All right.
Thank you.
God, I hate cats.
Just making
Sorry
sure.
if there's any.
No,
I'm
F
sure we
word.
will have a
No,
dad
you're
one of
good.
these
You got any
days.
kids that watch it? Whatever.
No kids watch this.
My Dave got yelled at.
We don't
us.
even have adults
Did
watching.
Dave get in trouble?
Dave got yelled at his he's getting married soon, and they had some like party or something going on, and he got yelled at by his fiance's grandmother or aunt or somebody.
Really?
I'm like, you know what, David, come here. And he they're like, the language you use is not too tolerable on your podcast.
That's amazing.
It's like, hey, stop watching it, then, Mother Teresa. Like, get the hell away from it.
You can't kick fans out though.
yeah.
Sure, you can.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
you
really
can.
can. Especially if they're
Yeah.
gonna hate on you about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, hey, let loose.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Fuck.
we're fired up for today's. We're gonna do one today.
Yeah,
It's
you're gonna
be-
have fun.
It's
Yeah,
gonna
you
be
see,
a lot.
then you're
Got
gonna
a
be loose
little-
for it too,
little
man.
grease.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Scotty will drink that in 2 seconds.
Yeah, get him. Hey, gotta loosen them up. man.
Another bit that we do is a dad hack.
Okay.
So you have 3 kids at some point, and you're in construction. You do some construction stuff too. So
Right.
you've got to have some kind of dad hack that you've come up with to get your kids to do what you want to do.
Bribery.
Do you need an example?
Please give me an example why I think.
All right, so I'll do my example. My example is my son is super. When he gets into something, he's into it.
focused.
He's
Super
really he
focused.
focuses on what he wants to do, and he can't focus on anything else. And so he'll be playing with his trucks or something like that. And I'll be like, "All right, Gibbs, it's time to eat. You need to put your trucks away and come to the table." And he just like I'm not even talking. So finally, I'll just go, "Hey," and I'll do the real loud voice or whatever, and then I'll be like, "Go touch the door, come back, spin around in a circle 3 times, go down on the ground, do 4 push-ups, and then jump up, do 4 jumping jacks, then touch the door and come back." And I'll just ramble off this random.
Can you call me and
sequence of
tell me to do
things.
that? Because I would love to just
I know you've asked me to do that before, and I haven't done
I
it
don't think I
yet.
could follow what you just
But
said.
he does. And he'll
Really?
stop and he'll go do it all, and then the trucks are out of his head, and he'll do what I want him to do.
Oh really?
Yeah,
So it's
that's
like
incredible. It works.
just get his mind off.
So
of
if
what
I
he's
can
doing.
steal something like that, mine is just I'm incredibly lazy. So if I'm laying on the couch and it's like Kendall will look at me and go, "Daddy, I want some apple juice," and it's like, just lay down. I don't want to get up and get your fucking apple juice. And it's like, you go get it. And she's like, "No," and it's like, now I look and I'm like, oh yeah, kids will do anything if you make a challenge about it. So I'll look at I'll look at Peyton or any of them, and I'll be like, "Hey, I bet you cannot get to that fridge and get her apple juice and get back here in 20 seconds. There's no way you can do it in 20 seconds."
That's a
Timer.
solid
Timer.
hack.
She'll jump up and she'll be like, "Time me." It's like,
Bet.
go. It's like, yeah, and your count depends. 1, 2, and then they start getting closer, 17, 18, 19. They answer you like, "Oh my God, you did it!" And then
New
next time
record
you didn't have to,
time.
yeah, record time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And you didn't have to get up.
That's everything.
That's a good
Like
hack.
Burger King, you're getting ready to leave, the freaking play place and stuff. I'd use the timer for everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Make
timer
it a
works.
I bet you
competition.
can't get your shoes on and your jacket on in 10 seconds. There's
Yeah.
no way you can do it. Nobody's ever been able to do it. Well, go for it. It's like, okay.
All right, time me. That's great. Man.
But yeah,
good.
once they get to a certain age, though, then they look at you and they're like, "Yeah, fuck yourself."
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like my son now, I'll be like, "Nick, I bet you can't do it in 30 seconds." They're like, "You just don't want to get up." I'm like,
So he's hip
so
to
you
it.
caught on.
yeah, it's like, "Oh, piss off."
Well, your sisters still haven't figured it out. So
Yeah.
don't ruin it for me.
Yeah, so that would be the timer.
I need my free time.
The dad timer.
Yeah, the
So-
dad timer's a good hack. I
Yeah.
love it.
I can't wait to tell
love
the
it.
kids, be like, "All right, I bet you can't mow that lawn in 30 minutes."
Yeah, hey man, I haven't tried the lawn yet, but I'm sure it'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
he's
will.
approaching that
works,
age,
it literally
right?
works for anything.
The world record for mowing this lawn.
Forget your phone charger upstairs. Like, hey, I bet you can't go get my phone charger and come back here in 15 seconds. Oh, yeah? Go for it. And they're like, dart up the stairs. It's like,
funny,
You're
right?
not even actually timing. You're just like,
no,
'cause,
yeah.
like,
You're
he always
just sitting
wants
there.
to see.
Like, they'll be gone for like 45 seconds. They're coming down the steps. You're like,
30.
13,
Yeah.
14.
What was my time? Oh, I was timing you. 40 seconds that time.
9.
Yeah, you just made it. Just made
That's
it.
close.
That's
It's
awesome.
funny though because I do use Sam as like my vessel to go.
100%.
I was sitting on the couch like, oh, hey buddy, can you go grab me the wipes? I have to change Ben's diaper. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
But he loves though. He'll run over and do it. He's all excited.
That's what they're for, man.
Yeah.
That's what they're for.
It's good. You know what you're
I
doing
did that
though is
shit
you're
when I was
teaching
little.
them responsibility and you're teaching them how to understand a concept and follow through with that
And I
concept.
just hope they don't realize that I'm being lazy as hell.
They will. They will, and then they're going to realize back.
No, listen, you're teaching them.
Yeah.
I am
As an educator of young minds, I'm telling you, you are giving them a task and they're completing that task and there's a sense of fulfillment.
Oh, you're the educator.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you were in the
Right?
classes teaching the kids.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Yeah, I like the dad act. That's a good spot. That's a good spot.
You like
I
that?
I like
That's
that.
good.
That's a good episode.
It's cool. We've learned some cool shit. Like,
Yeah.
We have, and I've used a lot of the stuff
Yeah.
that our guests have brought up. So
yeah, it's very cool.
No, that's awesome.
So
All right. I don't really have anything else. Like,
you want to talk sports or anything? Because you guys talk about sports.
I got
You
a whole,
following the
I got a
draft?
whole- I got a whole sports
guys are talking
podcast.
about
Yeah,
some
I don't want
Yeah.
to. I don't want to take anything from your next episode. There.
No, it
Did
is
you watch
nice.
the draft?
No.
Yeah.
Because I have no reason to, thank God.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
You know how like uninterested I was last night. We were sitting at B Dubs before the movie because we went to see Avengers at 9:30. Here we go,
Dude,
bro.
it was
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
No,
honestly,
but, dude, the
like,
draft,
like
it was
no
not interesting.
spoilers. I wasn't that impressed with the movie.
Okay, I wouldn't say I wasn't not impressed.
It was good.
It was a good movie. It was just a lot of movie. It was 3 hours long.
Oh.
I actually prepped for the movie. I didn't drink water from
Same.
4 o'clock in the afternoon until 9 o'clock, just so I wouldn't piss during the movie.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Dehydrated.
man, I was
we both did. We dehydrated ourselves.
Then we drank at the bar, but
Yeah.
that's whatever. But anyway, the draft though
You guys
was
need
not.
Jesus. You guys need Jesus or something.
You're probably not wrong.
We're dehydrating ourselves so we don't have to pee.
Hey man, I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, real quick though, like I do want to hear your thoughts on the Browns though. Like you're a Browns fan, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like I've heard you talk about,
I'm
you,
pumped.
you guys all said what 11-5,
We all came up
You
with
guys
11-5.
different ways.
Different ways. Yeah, I think they're going to start off.
I
a little
hope
slow.
I liked
that
your way,
you're.
though. I had
no,
a
I
good
hated
idea.
his way
Did you? I thought it
Why?
was, but I thought it
because
was
I have
realistic.
tickets to the Sunday night
opener?
game.
But I thought it was
No.
more realistic than
The Jets?
Larry's.
No, the Sunday night game against the Rams.
Oh,
like the
yeah. I have us winning the Rams, beating the Rams.
Well, I know, but you also have us as 0-2. I don't want to be 0-2 going into that game.
Oh, well, you're going to be, so
No.
sorry. Sorry about your fucking luck. I don't know. I mean, we could be 2-0. I don't know.
I kind of like the way that you put it though, because I kind of agree with you.
Listen, at
It's
the
a
end of the
little more
day,
realistic. I feel like.
I'm happy that we're not like drafted
Yeah.
for a Super Bowl. I've had a Super Bowl party
Listen,
for
and
like
then it's-
4
then
years in
it's
a
sad.
row.
Don't
because it just-
get me wrong, dude. My biggest problem with the Browns, and we'll leave it at that, is just Baker is, I mean, literally our entire team is like, he's like the axis of like the whole day.
But isn't that every NFL team?
Not really, man. I mean, look at like the Eagles. They lost freaking Carson Wentz. They brought in Nick Foles and went to the Super Bowl.
And
We're not bringing in, who the hell's our
Yeah, but
back?
how many teams have a backup quarterback that they're able to pay that is of even starter quality?
It's not even paid, but I mean, if you've looked at teams, like there's been a lot of teams historically where like quarterback's gone down and the teams have made the playoffs.
100. Oh, really?
Yeah.
wait, who's our backup?
Look at back in the day. Fuck, who was Brady?
Oh, you're talking about
Drew
the dude
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe.
Bledsoe got hurt. Brady came in. It
yeah,
was
but
like,
again,
oh.
Brady was a 7th round pick, right, or a 6th round pick,
Brady
whatever
was
it
proving
was.
himself though, and they were dying to get Brady in there.
Yeah,
Are you?
But he
dying,
wasn't
are you dying
supposed to
get
be the
Drew
guy.
Stanton or whoever the hell our
but he
backup
wasn't
quarterback.
when they
Dan
drafted
Mijikowski.
him.
But who's our new?
Yeah, but is Dan Mijikowski or whoever the fuck he is like?
doesn't play.
Is he?
It was like from the 70s or something.
Our backup quarterback was in the AFA, or what's that new league?
It's just listen,
No, we still have Drew Stanton.
No, but
No,
who's that guy?
listen.
But what's that league that just got like bankrupt?
Oh, yeah.
listen. If you look at every NFL team,
AFL.
they have a backup that is
So your big
somewhat
concern with
proven.
the Browns is that we
Is-
don't have a backup quarterback.
No backup quarterback.
So Drew
at all.
Stanton is
Or,
not.
I don't even know. Is
we
it
still
even
have
Drew
Stanton?
Stanton?
Yeah,
No,
we still have him.
Do we? Because I thought we just picked somebody else up.
We did.
That's-
We
somebody
picked up
else
that kid that was
In that
Baker's
league.
backup.
Bobby Boucher.
He was Baker's,
Baker's
backup,
backup.
At OU, right? Or at
He's-
Texas Tech.
He's a big kid, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, they were
but
talking him up, but
It's
still,
just
it doesn't matter.
It's just like I'm hoping like they pull something off and just get somebody. I mean, you just need a veteran, somebody that can come in. Like if Baker tweaks an ankle,
But I
this guy
guess-
missed 2 weeks. Somebody that could step in, make the passes, the key passes he needs to do, get us some points on the board, and gets the job done for like a week or two while Baker's out.
But isn't that the problem that every NFL team has?
No,
So what backup quarterback right now
yeah, who would we take?
would you be comfortable with?
I mean shit.
Yeah.
What that's out there? Or you
Yeah,
mean
that's
just
out there because I
just
feel
in
like
general?
I feel like you. So like the
Tannehill
Patriots.
would have been a good backup to get. They basically gave him away.
Maybe a
Blake
decent-
Bortles would have been a great backup to have. They gave him away.
Blake Bortles.
Blake Bortles. He went to the Dolphins.
Yeah, but isn't he scum?
He's not that good, but he carried a team.
But we could use.
But what
a
I'm saying is,
starting
he any
quarterback.
better than
Yes.
Drew Stanton?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he's better.
I don't know anything
I
about.
feel like the teams that make the playoffs when their
Even like
quarterback goes down.
The new one is like Rosen. Like they're trying to talk about wanting to get.
Oh,
Rosen
I would have
from
loved
the-
if you
as
could
a
get Rosen
backup
for
from
a
the
third or
Cardinals.
fifth round pick or something
Yes,
like that. Yeah, I
absolutely
would do
take
that
him
in a
in a
heartbeat.
heartbeat.
But I don't know. I just feel like every team is really hinged on their
I mean, look
quarterback.
at-
We
like-
know from experience that position is the most important,
Yeah.
and so I'm just happy that we have one.
Yeah.
And
We have
as
one.
long as
We
he
do have
stays
one.
healthy,
Oh,
we should
listen,
be good.
I mean, that's the worry that every team does have. But
Right.
the problem is our whole team is built around that
Him.
quarterback
Yes.
and his style of play and everything.
But
Again,
then-
my question though, isn't every team built around that?
I mean, it's a very
Like you could get
vague
lucky and have
question.
a
I mean,
have a
every
decent
team
backup.
sure is built around a quarterback, but I mean, the teams that have been the best teams around have proven to be able to withstand or sustain an injury to their quarterback
Yeah.
and still stay in the mix. And I don't think the Browns can do that. I think the level of
That's
I mean, that's
level
part
of
of the growth, though,
the
right?
level
Like
of
that's the
talent
next
difference.
level.
Yeah, I mean, even Baker's not all the way up at the top.
Sure.
I mean, he's
That's
still
his
young.
second year, yeah.
But the difference between him and our backups is
Sure.
light years.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's like even a veteran, somebody that's on their way out. You know, just somebody that can come in and say, "Hey, you know, what's his name that we had?
Josh McCown.
McCown.
Yeah.
He's a great.
He was a great
Yeah, I would
backup.
love
Like
him.
that would be a
I'd love
perfect
to
example of
have him.
somebody I'm
He's a great
talking
locker
about.
room guy,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Somebody that's there knows.
But
what
how do
he's
we know
doing.
Drew Stanton can't be that guy? Has he ever even
Has he
really
ever
had to
been
get
that
gotten to
guy?
play? I don't know if he's ever had the opportunity. Has he?
I don't know. Yeah.
He went to what?
Hey, he
Iowa,
might surprise
right?
you. Who knows?
Did he go to
Yeah.
Iowa?
Drew Stanton.
Yeah. No. No. Who am I thinking of from Iowa? Oh, whatever. It doesn't
Iowa?
matter.
I don't know.
I'm excited for the Browns. I'm excited that
Yeah.
the Super Bowl wasn't
The draft,
like the first round of the draft.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go to opening day and just tailgate. I'm excited to.
I don't want the summer to
Go
go,
to
by
a
fast.
game
but
or
I
two.
really
You're
want
right,
summer
you're
to go
right,
by
you're right.
fast because I'm dying for the season.
Yeah.
And
No,
do you guys honestly think that the Indians are going to win the division this year?
Yeah.
I do.
Do you feel confident about that?
I am.
Okay, good. 'Cause
Our
I
pitching's too good.
It is.
I'm not necessarily confident about the playoffs,
No, I have zero faith in the playoffs.
but it's so early right now to tell. Like, I mean, like Boston right now is terrible.
Our lineup right now is way better than it was a few weeks ago.
Sure.
Yeah. If you've got,
Jose's coming around now.
yeah, I mean, let's be
Back on
honest.
steroids.
Yeah. No.
I know,
Or
right?
like
He had to
Scotty
be on
says, he's
steroids
the
last year.
Dominican.
It's been like 7 months.
He's from the
like
Dominican.
he was
He's
just
a
terrible.
slow starter. No, I think anytime, regardless of whatever, if we have playoff baseball here, it's always
It's
a
a
good
great
so
thing.
much fun.
Absolutely.
So much fun.
Yeah. So
I love going to the Jake.
I'm looking forward to it. I think the Indians will be in the playoffs. I think the Browns will be in the playoffs. It's gonna be a good year.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fuck
Be a
the
lot of
Cavs.
Fuck the Cavs. Well, when's
Who cares?
the lottery?
I don't know.
Who
Coming
cares?
high, yeah.
It's May, isn't it?
I guess we should pay attention to that.
It just shows you how irrelevant basketball is when the Cavs and the Browns.
We were just talking about that though yesterday.
if
Is
the
how
Browns do
like
good.
I actually missed the NBA playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Like, the last 4 years have been really fun. Like
I think you took it for
NBA
granted at the same
playoff
time.
series are a lot of fun. Like I remember
When
taking.
you're in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I haven't watched a second.
When
this
you're
year.
not. No, I haven't watched any basketball at all. I haven't watched
Watch
any.
highlights, but
I don't even think I watched
I don't
highlights,
even
but like
care. It's just-
when the Cavs were in the playoffs, I was watching every single game. You know?
Yeah, it's just what it
It
is.
is what it is.
But
All right.
You watch the Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
You watch hockey?
No.
So I told a few weeks, last week, or it was when they
No.
won their last game, their last series. I watched the fourth game, the third. They have periods, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. Periods.
And I was spoiled because they scored 3 or 4 goals. No, it was 3 goals in the last 2 minutes, and that obviously never happens.
Yeah,
but I was like,
exciting.
hockey's kind of cool.
It's not.
Maybe if we had a team in Cleveland.
Maybe
Nope.
going to hockey games is fun.
When they fight,
Even like just like
the Monsters. Come on, this is fucking terrible.
I've never been to a Monsters game, but I've been to a couple
Well,
of
the
NHL
Monsters are in the
games on the
playoffs.
West Coast.
Playoffs,
And
If you buy like a Happy
if you're getting
Meal
up
with
on
like
the-
a
on the
Pepsi,
boards-
they'll give you a ticket.
if you're up on the glass, like it's amazing.
Oh yeah, I mean anything's better if
You been
you're
to a
right on the
professional game
ice.
before?
Huh?
You been to a professional game?
Yeah,
I haven't.
we got.
I mean,
They were doing like a military week when I was in the Marine Corps, and we went and we got these seats right up there. And you know what? Actually, I remember about hockey games is everyone in the stands is your friend.
Nice people.
Like the beer guy comes down, and the guy at the end is buying like 8 beers and just passing them down. We're like, oh,
Hockey sounds
And-
kind of cool.
like it was awesome. We're like, all right, yeah,
Sweet.
oh, it was fun.
Oh, that's awesome.
Maybe
We've talked about Kardashians, hockey. We've got everything
we
going on.
covered it all tonight.
We
Covered
did.
it all. The trend talking.
Do you want
dads.
to also bring us on the show?
I'm telling you, yeah,
Come
you
in
guys
groove.
should.
Yeah, we'll do it.
It's
Absolutely,
fun.
it's fun.
And do you want to have any? You have any shout
Yeah,
outs or
go
anything?
ahead. You want to do a little shout out action? Your side jobs.
Do you-
Your
Yeah,
You
I
wanna
just
push
I
a
work
little
for myself,
business?
man.
what do you do? What do you do for yourself?
I just construction remodeling.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I just actually a bunch of friends always yell at me because I don't just start my own company. I just kind of do side work all the time. So I
I
finally
would be
started.
that guy.
I finally started my own company this last week. I mean, I've always had it, but
Yeah,
finally just
just
started
kind of making it
more legit.
More
and-
legit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's cool.
I don't really have any plugs, man. I don't
All right, that's cool. You don't have to.
plug the Talking Dads.
Oh, thanks, man.
plug the trend.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely follow the trend.
These guys are awesome.
Facebook. You guys on Instagram? You're
Yeah,
on Twitter. I know that.
yeah, but I don't do the Twitter,
YouTube.
Twatter, Twitter. I
We
don't.
don't,
I
we don't,
don't-
we don't twat too
I
much.
hate
we don't
twat.
do that either.
We have one, but we just don't use it.
No, Mike was real big on the Twitter. Mike was big on like Instagram and all that. I'm a big believer in Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook's like
Yeah, sure.
everything we have is more geared towards Facebook, so I kind of do the Facebook stuff. That's
Facebook,
just-
YouTube,
that's
the
the
Trend
trend.
CLE.
yeah, on Facebook, and then
It's a good watch.
YouTube.
It's a good listen.
It is for sure.
There's some interesting shit.
It's not all
so-
just
We-
sports.
we-
It's what's trending.
It's Kardashians.
we tried. These guys tonight are gonna try and drill me just on draft, and I'm just gonna start bombing them with just random
Dude, the
shit.
draft
all
is
over.
so fucking boring this year.
There's no way. Dave's been in the other room probably salivating about
Oh,
the
yeah.
draft.
But you know what the thing is? Though,
And I'm just-
even watching, is there anybody to really look for besides Kyler Murray?
DK.
DK
Metcalf.
What did he get picked?
I don't know if he's
Did he
been
get-
picked
did he
yet.
get- The kid's a freaking specimen.
I didn't even watch
Dude's a
it.
beast.
He's a beast.
That's what I got Dave for.
But I
Dave
just
could
love
fill me in on it. And
I love it.
It's so good. Yeah, well, you guys will be talking about that, so we're
Yeah.
going to start it now.
All right, Rick, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, this is awesome,
thank you,
man.
This
guys.
is a cool episode. Love your
studio's amazing.
studio. We
Thanks,
might
guys.
use
Thanks
it.
for having us.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to.
I like it.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
It feels like home.
Yeah.
It does,
well,
though.
I can
Especially
imagine
for
that.
As long as the wife's not yelling down the stairs at you, right?
Nah,
I mean,
she's
it's-
fine.
Yeah, she's good with it.
Yeah, no, she's good.
That's
She's
awesome.
good. Thank you guys. Though.
Yeah, very happy for you. Congrats on being a cool dad and like having your kids and just really understanding what it means to be a dad and
embracing it.
embracing that, and I think that's cool. So
Yeah, no, thank you. Guys.
And bringing awareness to apraxia, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's I guess that could be a plug. Like that's
Yeah.
it's one of those things where more people suffer from it than people think, and it is a good cause for people to look at. So
Absolutely.
very cool.
We're trying to figure out different things to raise money for and
Yeah,
raise awareness for. So
yeah, no,
that's definitely one
awesome.
of them. So
yeah, absolutely.
Perfect. Well,
Cool.
Thank you guys very
Thanks,
much.
Rick. I appreciate you. We'll do it again sometime. All right.
Definitely.
for
All
sure.
right, cool. Thanks,
All
man.
right, guys.
That's a wrap for episode 9. Cheers.
Cheers.
Larry, thanks for nothing.
Hi,
Fuck
Larry.
you, Larry.
Lawrence.
Hey guys, if you like what you just heard or watched, please don't be shy. Give us a like, subscribe, follow us on our social media pages, and drop us some comments, literally, about anything. Your support means the world to us and legit keeps us going. And most of all, thank you for all of your support.